Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Just this part of Fargo has been kind of going downhill. I really don't know why.
An AK-47, a modified AR-15, dozens of different types of drugs, and roughly 1,000 rounds of ammunition. That's what was found from Fargo police after they seized a home last night in the Roosevelt neighborhood. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Andrea has the evening off. The laundry list includes heroin, methamphetamine, marijuana, fentanyl, and ecstasy, just to name a few. 23-year-old John Iden was arrested for possession, intent to deliver, and child neglect. Police say a 1-year-old child was in the house at the time of the bust. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric goes door to door in the Roosevelt neighborhood and talks with those who say they're frightened by what's going on their streets. Not to mention, this is the same neighborhood where 24-year-old NDSU student Sam Trout was murdered last year.
Sometimes I feel pretty unsafe. I recently lost my friend Sam.
John Fisher says he lived with Samuel Trout when he was brutally murdered last year in this neighborhood. He says he has family living in South Fargo, and they aren't dealing with anything like what's happening on his street.
But in the past few years, the year, it's been a lot of crime has been getting really high. And
other people in the area said the same thing. This man raised his kids here and says the last few years, many of the houses are being turned into apartments and things are changing. What's even more frightening is that Fargo police say John Iden's arsenal and large amount of drugs were seized within 1,000 feet of Roosevelt Elementary. That means the drugs and guns were seized from somewhere inside this shaded area.
It's very scary. We did a search warrant here. The officers walked in and found these guns laying ready to be used in various rooms with the suspect.
Lieutenant Shannon Ruziska says their ballistic vests and helmets would do little to protect officers should Iden have opened fire. Officers were unsure of the street value of the drugs or firearms, but it's obvious that it's in the thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of dollars.
The criminal element has become much more better armed and much more dangerous.
Lieutenant Ruziska, along with Chief David Todd, want people to know this is what's in our neighborhoods and on our streets. They add someone will move in to replace John Iden's operation.
You can come here, but we're going to find you, we're going to arrest you, we're going to put you in prison.
Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Fargo police say they're looking into if the heroin and fentanyl seized are contributing to the rising overdose deaths around the area. Police wouldn't say what information led to them to that particular house in North Fargo. If you filled up at Fleet Farm Gas Mart during mid-March, you'll want to check out your credit or debit card statements. Fleet Farm employees discovered a card skimmer on a pay-at-the-pump gas pump on March 14th. Surveillance video from Fleet Farm shows a dark SUV pulling up to and opening the pump during the early morning hours of March 12th, 13th, and 14th. Authorities say it's likely the people involved were retrieving stolen data nightly and then going back to a Fargo hotel to clone it. 4 people, all from Kentucky, were arrested for criminal conspiracy. Police say they may be involved in a multi-state skimming operation currently under investigation by federal authorities. Dilworth police tell us 2 of these men are also accused of using cloned credit and debit cards at the Dilworth Walmart. We had wet conditions on and off throughout the day today, but will this pattern continue through the evening hours? Let's check in with meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch?
Well, we can answer that real quickly, Christine, with a quick look at the satellite and radar. We've drawn the isobars on here because we're seeing changes in everything. Clouds, rain, and snow moving off to the east as we head into the evening hours. Most of us should stay on the drier side of things as we head through the evening. Now, take a look at the central pressure area here in western North Dakota. As that moves towards us, the wind is going to take a little bit of a break, and we have some serious, nice warming conditions to the west in the portions of eastern North Dakota. We're at mid-60s right now in Aberdeen, 58 Jamestown, and we cool down to 31 degrees in Bemidji, and this is what it looks like at Pembina. I-29, a little bit of flaky weather there and wet. Look at northern Beltrami County there near Waskish and the northern Red Lake. Wow, some snow, a good inch or 2 on the roads. Here's your planner for Fargo tonight. Temperatures hovering near 50 the next couple of hours, then succumbing to the 40s and the winds taper off. But the wind will return, the rain will return, the thunder will return, the snow will return, and all within 24 hours. I'll have all the details in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. Police are investigating multiple reports of vehicle tampering and a church break-in. Both happened in the city of Fosston. The church was called Kingo and was broken into, and damage was done on the inside. Anyone with information about these break-ins is asked to contact the Polk County Sheriff's Office. A Native American religious practice is raising some eyebrows at UND. Members of the North Star Council in Grand Forks say there have recently been false accusations floating around campus and misunderstandings about smudging. Smudging is a Native American religious practice of burning sage, sweetgrass, or tobacco to cleanse the spirit, much like incense is used by Catholics and several other religions. Amber Finley says one of the accusations is that smudging is used to cover the smell of marijuana use.
Because these sacred medicines are actually not allowed to be around alcohol and drugs, and so people typically aren't using those things when they have these things in their home.
Smudging is basically allowed anywhere on UND's campus except for classrooms. And if you'd like to learn more about it, a free public demonstration will be held at UND's Wellness Center at 5:30 p.m. this Sunday. Vaccination rates across the state of North Dakota are plummeting for school-aged children, and it's causing some concern. As part of North Dakota's Public Health Week, NDSU students are presenting a wide range of health topics, vaccinations being one of them. Here's what one student had to say.
I have colleagues that have practiced medicine in places like East Africa or the Asian subcontinent that are startled by the fact that we turn life-saving vaccines down because they have seen people with measles or meningitis, and they've seen people die from these things.
Pinnock adds talking with your child's healthcare provider is the best way to decide on your vaccinations for your children. We'll have much more on Valley News Live at 6. A big step for local veterans today. Senator John Hoeven announced that the VA has agreed to develop and start a pilot project in Fargo to address scheduling and private care issues. They will start to implement the project over the next 30 days, and the hope is to fix delays and confusion that veterans experienced while trying to schedule appointments in the state. If you're among the homeowners still dealing with sticker shock over a property value increase, you've got a chance to make your opinion known to the city. The Fargo City Board of Equalization meeting will be held next Tuesday, April 12th at 7:30 a.m. at Fargo City Hall. This is a chance for homeowners to state their case if they feel the value set for their property is unfair. If you want to present your case to the board, they recommend notifying the Fargo Assessment Department before the meeting.